Hit him with the auto, but it wasn't quite quick enough. Well, score coming in now. A little bit of pressure on Nagoon, see if they can do some damage there. Nagoon just going to turn with the slow edge, misses his death laser. Aw.
But not really a very effective gank there from Score, and not a whole lot of kill pressure with zero crowd control coming into the Kassadin. Goog doesn't have to burn for him. Yep, very punishing. Pure goes up, tries to get in.
Q from Someday to finish him off. A great solo
game operated by KT. So,
yeah,
Duke all in. But Someday sees that he's about to go Meganar. He sees Duke is overheated. Easy cleanup, so strangely sloppy play, but Someday taking advantage of the situation as it's presented to him. That item, that's when it really starts to go in favor of Gnar. But he's going to get that kill before he even had a Hex Drinker. Go back, pick it up, so I'd imagine this isn't going to go too well for Duke.
It's looking a little bit rough. He's got his Haunting guys, but D, things pretty passive, but already some things that Najin needs to be a bit worried about.
Yeah, I mean, Najin has a decent mid-game here. They have a pretty smooth power curve. Not play this way with how much pressure Edge is putting on right now.
Yeah, in the meantime, Peekaboo's been able to big takeaway after all. I mean, Watch has played most.
Good plan. They know Peekaboo's there in the brush now. They're going to back off.
There, you'd think it would have been pretty easy to actually get in and take out this Kog'Maw quickly.
They could also just do Dragon right now.
That's part of the idea not to dive Arrow too as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, Arrow hadn't backed either, so he would have been pretty vulnerable.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that if Arrow backs, he's getting his lead in. He's that carry force. I don't know why he would get that item right now. Maybe he just had enough gold for it, but that is a bit weird. I think he must, the logic behind this, he must be very... And also, Someday is ahead and is going to be building tank stats, but doesn't have... But, I mean, that's not...
Well, they're not, and took it pretty easily.
There is a lot of MR stacking.
Well, OQ playing the dueling playmaking Corki. That's the answer.
Split push Corki.
Hey, if anyone would do it, it would be OQ.
That is true. The split push. Yep, and the invades begin. On to the blue buff. Someday just using the Gnar just to ramp up as the Rod of Ages.
And Duke wasn't really able to do a lot of damage to the turret or anything like that in return.
Oh, well, no. I mean, that will make things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, Score throws a ward right in front of Pure as well, too.
Drop Equalizer, which means that he's probably going to have to TP back as well into the top lane. So Someday may just end up with a free TP.
So it's not even going to be a trade.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a trade. Duke just backs off of that one, and all of a sudden they're not respecting KT's mid lane control, and so we've had to
try to fight her on Dragon.
You better hope this Kassadin gets really strong in the late game, so that you can punish Victor and the Kog'Maw picks. But Cass going to have even more magic resistance, which is going to help out a significant amount against Najin's composition.
Dragon's back up. Pure got poked out a little bit.
1v1 early with Arrow. Doesn't actually succeed in getting it completed, though, due to other people showing up.
They got 4 kills. What a huge moment for KT in this.
From Najin, not to know that Someday is in Mega. Someday just shows up. Doesn't even have to spend any time transforming. Happen.
This is your team on Gnar. Any questions?
Well, just unlock.
Peekaboo coming in to help. Can he keep his top alive? Doesn't look like it.
For Someday.
I like it. I like it, man. I mean, this is what we talked about. They need someday to carry if they're going to win these games. This is the person that KT depends on. Cutlass is finished for Arrow, though. Might be a little bit more tough, although. Here comes Score. Watch is behind him, though. Yeah, Watch is going to find him. Go right in on the Score. Here comes OQ Valkyring ahead. He's like, oh, I should have saved it to go over the wall.
Behind him saying, like, no OQ.
That's right. I imagine, like,
Forced to detect things that you can't normally see.
No, you depend on Obi-Wan for that. KT is just dismantling Najin 2 all across.
Is really it. I mean, I don't think Kassadin is a very good pick right now for this reason. Score on the Evelyn has just been able to get into the enemy jungle. They've had ward. How do you get deep wards into both sides of the enemy jungle? What is your sorcery score by KT?
Pretty much. Najin trying to get some semblance of vision back, but there's not a lot they can do. Force. That's what Najin needs.
Yeah, well, OQ got it.
He got it. All right, there.
It's completed now,
Thanks.
so at least they'll have that for the second core item. I mean, they are definitely in every possible condition to go ahead and win this game. And take all the dragons and really snowball up that objective. Najin has to do something pretty drastic.
That gives KT time to catch up. Nice equalizer, though. Can't really make the difference. Someday tried to come in from behind with the teleport. Didn't really find a target, though.
Someday canceled his teleport. KT lost that fight, but still a mistake from Someday.
And that was really just a nice play from Pure to set up a kill or two, more than anything. And so KT, not too worried.
Before he can actually fight again. They're going to start the dragon anyway.
Yeah, I suppose they can. I mean, Najin not really threatening them anywhere.
The strong presence in the middle of the map to control vision.
It's an assassin, perhaps.
Right, and remember that KT will be on the blue into Victor.
Yeah.
He could have picked Zed. He loves playing Zed into Victor.
That's what I was kind of wondering, too. I mean, I feel like if Victor and Cassiopeia are both up.
And Someday split push. Just going to keep on marching forward, finally getting some armor. So you can deal with OQ. He's gonna
Yeah, KT continuing to take control of the enemy jungle, too.
Yeah, they've done a great job with their vision this game. That has been on point from KT Rolster. Solo kill early on, and now that he's fallen behind in terms of itemization, yeah, he's got the Void Staff now, but he doesn't really have a lot of damage differential team fight around that Baron, considering that Someday had his ultimate still available to him. So Najin.
The lanes pushed while they can pressure Dragon at the same time. Happens sometimes.
Number 4, so they can threaten number 5, but you know, they haven't done a whole lot with the Baron buff yet, even though they definitely...
Najin's going to try to contest this.
No, they really can't. They have to let him have number 4, and...
Pretty quick now.
Yeah, they are. Someday actually going to rotate into...
Dead, too. Oh, Peekaboo gets caught, takes a little bit of damage, but not a lot.
Taken like a piece of cake.
Yep, just like you pick up a piece of cake and
just take
eat it.
Just take it.
I don't know. Mixing my metaphor. I think you're going to do a lot of damage to Someday, Goon. Pause.
That's
and
what
a slow, methodical end to this game is.
That's what we need, a pause right now.
That's right. It's bad. Well, Peekaboo's like, oh man, did the league get this easy when I was gone? I don't know about that. Executive Vice President for the KT. He specializes in the
dabbles in the esports world. He's come to see
baseball game or something like that.
Can I talk about baseball for a minute? It's just, why would you invent a team game where 90% of...
Throw it to each other.
I know, but that happens. That doesn't even happen that often.
Well, it depends on how good the pitcher is, right? Yeah, I suppose.
But see,
I don't know any pro bad. Me,
exposed.
myself, I am. I didn't say I liked watching badminton. I like playing badminton. You know, I played basketball in the past, though.
I love tweeting about soccer because it makes the Europeans so mad.
Well, it's like, wow. Well, I mean, at least they've got FIFA. You have to call it what we call it.
I wish that was
It's only
a
fair.
clause.
It seems very appropriate to me. Duke is nodding. He agrees. Eat their glass of beer.
I do like going to baseball games because
It is fun.
the glory of baseball games is you can sit there and have. That says something because you're from the Midwest. The most American.
Not jump on score right there.
Because there was
Well, the
everybody
rest
in
of
the
it,
top
I
side and they
suppose.
were going to get ulted and all die.
Thank you. Peekaboo, actually, just to secure that. No teleports for you, Goon.
No rift walking there, just stun locked and knocked around.
Yours there as well, too, but there goes the second Nexus turret, and I guess 30 seconds is all we needed after that pause, and the game is over. KT,
Well,
he was double lifting a bit there, I think.
Yes, he was.
A good re-debut by Peekaboo here on KT Rolster, able to get a win in his first game. Well, I hope no...
With a different champion.
That's right. Well, when we come back, guys, game 2, we'll see who takes it. KT Rolster versus Najin Empire already. Not going to be the same result we saw less than a week ago for this. And welcome back to Champion Summer. Our Game 1 MVP is Someday. Pretty great game on that top Gnar, able to are usually taking advantage over Rumble. So,
well, I really like
game.
the play he made right there. Duke obviously made a mistake, and 800 MVP points.
Yeah, when KT wins, it's usually because of Someday.
Yep. And so here you go, flash in, get the ult down, equalizer already down, so Duke just gets rocked.
Great ult there, and man, this just sets
Such
it
a
up
good
for Arrow
teleport.
and Edge to destroy people.
The combo was beautiful, and KT, they snowballed this lead extremely well. And I think the unsung hero of that game was really Score, who repeatedly warded both sides of the jungle so that Najin couldn't even move on the map without getting exploited.
Well, Peekaboo's Janna was really, really good too, man. He was able to make a lot of plays. He was able to keep people just barely healed and did a fair share of warding himself too. Really nice debut from him after being out with injury. Big stuff from him in his first game back as well.
Maybe he'll get the MVP in the next game, though.
Maybe he will.
There's Duke. He's
Doesn't
not
look too
chewing
worried.
gum. Oh no.
He's only got one thing left. Oh, Barry.
The
Barry and
KT
his
rollster
dank memes.
chainsaw.
Do it as well. Oh, is it Someday's birthday?
I guess it is.
Oh, what do you know? Happy birthday, Someday. Singir Chukhamnida. That's how you say it in Korean.
The 6th.
Is this his only match until after that?
I
Probably.
would imagine so. Scores is on the 8th, so Score and Someday very close to each other in age.
Same year?
Long time as part of this KT Rollster organization.
Yeah, quite the career ahead of him, I'm sure.
Of course, that was before the rules that you had to be 17 to compete.
Yep. He was grandfathered in, which is ironic to say about someone so young. But here we go. Picks and bans.
No,
for
he
game
was
number
actually
2.
already 17 by the time the rule went into effect.
Oh, well,
last
that
year.
makes my joke way less funny. Thanks a lot. Thanks. What a great
I'm
co-caster
just,
you are.
I'm just here to be a buzz.
Thanks a lot, Monty.
And tell you when players are bad, to tell you that baseball is bad, to tell you that soccer is bad. That's
I
what my
agree with
point.
those things. Sure.
That's my function.
Now we know. That's what the Monty bot has been programmed to do. Rumble and Cassiopeia banned out for KT Rollster. Callista Gragas banned out by Najin Empire. So KT understandably not wanting to deal with Goong's Callista. And there's the Maokai ban as well too.
So what is Duke going to respond with this game? They could save that counter pick for him if necessary. Interestingly, we saw Sivir fall all the way through the draft in the last one.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've seen that happen this season.
Well,
it hasn't been picked or banned.
No. But
Really?
No.
Oh.
But it is definitely a rarity.
Oh, Reach just needs to put some sneak a pylon behind the booth for KT and build a gateway there. You know, start sending zealots in really early.
Get some sick Reaver drops going in.
Cannon rush him. Reach has all the cool tactics. Unfortunately, none of them work in this.
The last game. So the sudden first pick Shen.
That was the first time Shen's actually appeared and surprised people. Wow. I never thought I'd see the day. Shen was a true ninja at that moment. Even Victor, the 2 pickups for Najin.
It was all a set. Najin banning out the Azir in game 1, not wanting Edge to have that champion. This time they also is even more curious because they have the counter pick, and you can play Zed into Azir, and you can play Zed.
They've already picked a Victor.
I
this game,
know,
but-
I know, Noah.
Oh,
I
well.
know.
It's going to be hard. I think we're going to see more. It's just a shy, unmeta pick tribute game, apparently.
The Shy Pocket Pick Bowl.
I guess so, yeah. Shy Pocket Pick Bowl 2015. I like it.
Look how
Shyvana
far
versus Shen.
Alistair managed to fall down. I don't know what's going on in these drafts anymore. Why is Alistair selected in the second round of the draft on the red side? I mean, Watch apparently really needs that Evelyn, even though Score is a perfectly fine Rek'Sai player. And the main issue is at all times for that tremor sense, and it's even easier for you to get in deep wards when you're Rek'Sai against an Eve.
Peekaboo with the Thresh. So what will the final pick be?
Yeah,
AD carry.
they really rely on Azir to actually initiate these team fights, though, as fights, because they can't really engage with the Rek'Sai, and they can't really engage. No peel. There is no one to peel for the Cogmox except maybe a Thresh box. And that means that Duke is liable when it comes to engages if you want to protect Cog. Now, KT has good siege here, very good siege, but if they start to fall behind and they have to start fighting Najin at Dragon or at Baron where they out to falling behind and being forced to engage. Skirmish, I think Najin definitely coming out of this with a better composition. Or more versatile, I should say.
We'll see if it pays off for them. T-Rolster versus Najin the Empire.
I'm scratching my head here thinking why KT didn't want to play Sivir in this composition, because your ultimate pretty inefficiently to clear out the tanks.
Well, that's 2 games in a row now where Sivir wasn't picked, waiting for a long time. I sense something cheesy here.
Defensive wards down for Najin at the red buff. So they know what happened last game, and they're suspecting that the same thing's going to happen again. I'm just going to take the small Krug and head to lane. They want that advantage. They want the 2v2.
With a little bit of an XP boost because of that. Looks like Duke's just going to teleport, and the spot lane's going to go.
Not well for Vayne. I mean... Barrage, not quite as bad as the Janna poke.
Just slightly earlier. Descendants onto Pure, a little bit of poke going to come in out of that. OQ immediately goes onto Arrow, prevent any sort of big trades. A good move there. Do on this Vayne. That is his main champion. It is the champion that he's...
Actually, Duke sees Score right there at the Gromp, so they got some good knowledge. Duke just using this time to go ahead and take a Scuttle Crab, and Duke's really free on this.
I mean, with all that time, you could go back and take the Krugs really easily. Make sure you keep control of the Rift Sculler.
Also, just would have been great onto Cogmox.
Yeah, in fact, this is one of the first non-smite Shyvana. Damage, Edge coming down too. It's a little bit low health though. They need to be careful here. With not a lot of mana left, so the chase would not have been too effective.
Yeah, Najin still... And you can do this as a top laner, and by getting the deep wards in, by Pure and Watch teaming up to do that, they're opening up Duke to just keep doing this on the...
Very hard for him to farm, to not take damage on the turret. Missing out on a little bit of CS there.
Another wave with Burnout. Oh, nice sidestep on the taunt.
Yeah. Yeah,
Duke is level 6, so he has his ult.
Just makes you wonder, too. I mean, Smite would have made a lot of this easier to do, wouldn't it have?
Yeah. Yeah, smart. Just use burnout. Get
Bot lane, OQ and Pure have managed to actually poke out Peekaboo and Arrow and do a lot of damage. Look at that. Man, OQ is so good on this Vayne.
really long time.
Yeah. Well, that would explain the no.
Definitely could have been
suppose.
Sunfire Cape.
You gain more by the ability to just jump in and blow up their carry, though, right? Well, Watch is going to get taken out. First blood taken with that Emperor's Divide by Edge. Edge getting shielded nicely by that Shen ultimate. Keeps him.
And that's what she's going to get. So they actually trade that for a turret. So in the end, Najin actually gets the better end of that deal. Duke
All
things.
this farming to do Duke things.
This is such a good top lane matchup.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Played out very intriguingly in the second game, and someday using that ultimate was really punished. Dirty farming behind the turret.
That's right.
So it's instead of tank versus tank, it's tank versus minions, and then another tank.
Already able to put so early in the game. Goong taking a fair amount of poke from Edge's Sand Soldiers.
Yes, he is. And I mean, watch on that invade too. I mean, he did have some good wards down, so it wasn't the riskiest thing in the world, but he did get punished for it. Oh.
Whoa, going in on the Goong. There's the Emperor's Divide. It was dodged by the Flash. Chaos Storm doesn't connect, though. Makes it out too, but they are very low health. Teleport coming in.
Here
Someday
comes Duke.
they're going to try to catch them. Flash from Pure to for Goong. Edge gets back in the lane, but he's still very low health.
I don't know. Duke might be able to pull some sort of crazy move right here. Empire.
Yeah, looking pretty good already here in game number 2. And someday, you know, didn't ult.
Observer showing us just so he has the maximum possible amount of wave clear early in the game.
Makes sense. Well, OQ, they've pushed the lane up, but OQ has started to fall behind pretty significantly in CS already.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Arrow has his ultimate now. He's from OQ because he just pops the Bio-Arcane Barrage and then starts mowing him down with Sheen procs. So that is, it's going to be
Duke pushing through that top lane so quickly, they can't really lane swap him, can they?
No, someday it might be interesting to try to lane swap him or have OQ go into the 1v1 just because someday has just the cowl right now, so OQ would be quite strong. Although he doesn't have the Blade of the Ruin King completed yet, and Duke biggest, most annoying things about Shyvana is she does both kinds of damage, and that's why one of the reasons this build is so efficient for Shyvana. Or to get 2 core items before they can compete with your split pushing in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, which by then you've lost a turret or 2 already. Makes it a bit tough. And Najin certainly jumping out to a pretty significant lead early on in this one. OQ's getting pretty close to his blade, though. Shouldn't be too much longer.
And what are they going to do about Duke? They have no answer to this split push. And the Shen is just a long way away from getting Trinity Force or anything.
Yeah, Score's not really able to put enough pressure on like a 2v2 or something, I suppose.
The top side would be very difficult for KT to come out with a worst thing.
It's not something we see very often, too.
Well, Duke's just been all over the map. He was farming out mid lane for a while. After that, I miss you, Blade of the Ruin, kick split push Shyvana.
It's been fun to watch.
That too. This is so reminiscent of last game where KT was just taking over the jungle with all the pressure. This time, however, Najin just responding in kind. And KT, they keep going in. But they can't take away that blue buff right now. Score needs to be taking a serious look around the Dragon Pit because they have to get this next objective.
Oh, they caught watching the jungle there. There's the flay. Peekaboo keeps him close by. Flash from Arrow, and there's an ult. Bullseye. Arrow picks up a kill there. That was a direct hit.
And again, a little bit dangerous for Watch to be there. Had an opportunity just to go into the top side, his top side instead, and farm up that way, but not really anything that can be taken.
Oh,
wow,
nice all in onto Edge. Edge taking a lot of damage from that Chaos Storm. Comes back in. Emperor's Vibe pushes away, and here comes Score over the kill. Both mid laners go down, but at least they were able to turn that around on Goong. But man, they used a lot to take out Goong.
Wow. Every time Sunday leaves his lane, he takes so much damage. Nice play by Goong, and the fact that it was a 1-for-1. They also got 50% damage down onto the bottom turret, or the top turret rather, and that is worth so much.
Man, I really thought that was going to be a pretty quick. Or 1v1 that turned into sort of a team fight. Dragging up to 25. A skirmish, yes. A melee. Oh.
Toward the start of this dragon fight either.
Definitely won't be.
Yeah,
be around for the moment.
You could definitely get the Fury back relatively rapidly. Uh-oh, nice
they caught OQ. Great death sentence. OQ flashes away and gets barely out of range. Pure, though, taking a lot of damage.
Well, next dragon.
Yeah.
That's going to be something that OQ has to just sort of auto-attack the Gromp for just to get some more HP, but I don't think they're going to be able to contest this dragon at all.
Doesn't look like it right now. Edge coming down as well, too. Peekaboo putting in some nice wards deep in the jungle. And they get that dragon. So tying things up in dragons, getting a kill, getting some wards down, which is probably the most important thing, is to have those as far as controlling this vision. First game, it was a lot of Score. This game, it's been a lot of Peekaboo. Yeah, it's really good to see him back, too, because he was always one of the more exciting, intelligent supports to watch. Good mechanics, good decision-making.
So it's just interesting to me because if you look at the teams that really could have used a support player, you would have thought that Najin would be the more logical choice for Peekaboo.
Could be. He only plays for telecoms. That's the rule.
He won't play if he has to pay a phone bill. Has to get that for free all the time.
That's part of the deal. Free phone and internet. Watch Chenault coming down as well too. Teleports coming in. Can Duke make a play here? Peekaboo gets taken out before he can death sentence away. And Najin backing off with the knockup from here. Whoa, Someday coming back in again with the taunt on up here. They get the kill via score, but Duke is right here though. They may be able to turn this one around. Or not. Here comes Goon.
Yeah, definitely just a bit awkward. Arrow had his Trinity Force. Ult was pretty telegraphed, I had to say, onto Peekaboo at the start of that fight, so a bit of a surprise that Okyu got hit by the taunt, and he was even within taunt range by the time that channel but KT not able to take out the mid turret. That is a pretty significant advantage now for Najin. They're starting to take over in terms of the turret score.
Yeah, 2-0 so far, but that's going to change now. There goes mid lane turret. Oh, and here comes Alistar from the side. Nice Emperor survived to bring Pure back in. They would have liked to catch more. They'll take a kill to go along with that turret. Be able to actually take it out. Looks like they will. So responding with 2 turrets and a kill now. Duke invading into the enemy jungle. Looks like they're going to trade blues.
Yeah. On his own, and this is a bit of a only has the victor for the wave clear, so Goon has to be in the right place. He cannot be split pushing. There is down. You have a Blade Shyvana and a Blade Vayne. You have a great really hard for it, and 2 towers go down.
Yeah, this game's gotten very, very even very quickly. Same turrets, same dragons, similar kills. Gold is very close. Dragging up in about 2 minutes, though.
He's still not up to full power in terms of team fighting. And work from there.
Could have just said KT. They've got the edge going into every fight in this game. Wah, wah. Set you up for that one. Looks like KT's going to take another turn.
Runs around the map to put out the fires, which he's not going to do, apparently.
I guess so. That turret getting lower as well, too. Goon coming in now, but that turret's going to go down before he gets there.
And continue to control the tempo of the game. If they can get the siege, they're and force Najin to engage into them where they can kite, they're going to be in good shape. The problem for KT's composition arrives if you get to a Baron or trying to force a fight around an objective or a crazy Azir engage, but that Azir engage leaves
doing the best they can to push the lanes back up after losing those 2 turrets. Dragon is up now, and it looks like KT is going to be able to get there first.
I love the fact that KT is just figuring
issue. Najin pushing up the mid lane, but KT should be able to get back to defend it. And they do.
Yeah, pretty easy. They have the mobility. Duke, nice zone on the side. And so he is getting very scary for Kog'Maw. On the top lane tower, 24 minutes into this game. Duke has been doing so well on the top side of the map.
It is pretty impressive.
Down 2 tier 2s already. So yeah, that is
Duke gets caught. Here comes Score over the wall. They got him with the, wow. They got him with all the CC.
What a good,
Jeez.
good hook.
Barely lives, but still.
Also, Arrow just left his split push in the top side of the map.
Why not? Oh, we may have a fight. Here's a headbutt. Pure flashing in for the pulverize. And Watch trying to throw out those hate spikes as well as he can. Ultimate tank fight.
Well,
goodbye, Watch.
Duke not actually going to TP right there.
Guess
he
not.
had an opportunity to come into that fight.
Whoa, Pure gets caught too, and KT near ace.
Recently, and
That's
here we
true.
go. Void Rush.
Oh, they're going to go right.
I have to wonder why Duke wasn't going to TP into that fight because everyone was so low. Engagement pretty easily.
It is really puzzling.
As you know, he's dead right now, but starting right now, he could have actually TP'd to a ward. They had that, which is Peekaboo.
Peekaboo is so good.
Having a great game.
Or not.
Nope. They're with the back in this game. They looked like they were having some rough times early, but some days managed to make it work, even though he's fallen incredibly far behind in terms of farm. That's actually ridiculous.
I know.
Great because someday built to Randuin's Omen, so now your support is not going to be as easy.
An edge, but they're bouncing on the right side so far.
Yeah, Edge really, as a player, coming out much better. Or would come into the mid lane, get a gank for him, get that kill, and then he would get low, and then he would walk away, not even back to his turret, start recalling. Like that was pretty sloppy.
That's a pretty easy thing to fix, though, and it looks like he has. And his Azir looking.
It was pretty good last game.
Last game it was, but before that, though, his victors were. Oh, they're going to pressure this mid lane. They think they've got Najin out of position here, and they might be able to just grab an inhibitor turret for this. They will. Wow. Now, can Najin respond? KT on the run. Are they actually
way
going to start
too many?
it? No.
No, they're
They
way. Do is try and bait this. I doubt that's going to work where there's a Rex.
Very low. People coming in. Peekaboo getting close. Lays down the box. KT win the rest of this fight. Now it looks like they can. Huge engage. OQ gets jumped on by Someday over the wall. Someday trying to tumble away. Amazing. KT steals the Baron, gets full right now.
Yeah, I think death timers are pretty long. I actually think with them, and they have the Trinity Force Cogma,
Wow.
so an absolute desperation Baron call.
Just knowing that they can take two inhibitors instead of just try to go for the win here, which makes you wonder if they could have just gone for the win there. But either way, it's a
lead out of that fight. Definitely the safer thing is go back, spend your money on OQ. But it's okay. Still a good effort. On the Alistair headbutt.
Peekaboo, yeah.
Or I mean, Peekaboo is doing amazing work this game.
Yeah. He has certainly not missed a beat after being gone for a little while.
I don't know why Someday taunted backwards right there. Looked like a misclick.
He's scared, you know? Scared of OQ. He's a scary guy. That's scary vein. So Duke just like stunned. He's like, wow, I wasn't ready for Giant Shen. Just in case Shen couldn't be any more obvious, now he's like 10 feet tall.
I like how Someday just left him there.
at each other like, so we've reached this point, have we? All right, putting down the pink board to make sure there's no flanks from Watch. I don't think they need to be too worried either way. Here comes the push. They want to take that last inhibitor. And have they caught Duke? Oh, if that hook had hit, would have been bad for Duke. Gives now that inhibitor in top lane vulnerable. Score's going to turn around. Evelyn Alt comes in. Peekaboo drops that box immediately, misses his hook. And Duke gets very low, goes down. Edge doing a ton of damage with those Sand Soldiers in the middle. Goong has to run for his life out of this fight. OQ has a waiting for it. Here comes Edge. They're going to flash ahead. Tried to get that taunt. Didn't end up working out. OQ tumbling back to the base after getting out with that QSS. One is already down. Two goes down. Less than a week ago, Najin got the 2-0.
That was a sick Azir play. He bent the soldiers around the Nexus right.
Less than a week ago, Najin was on the winning end of a 2-0. This time 2-0 to start off their second round.
Yeah, very methodical play overall. Najin started out doing so well in that second game, but then when the siege actually kicked in, they had nothing to really stop it, and that created a large gold lead.
One thing that really struck me was just how well Peekaboo and Score seemed to work together in terms of controlling vision, in terms of like making picks.
We'll see. You know, Edge's performance was good today, but has been a bit spotty. A lot of work on his first day back after a while with those wrist injuries. So looking excellent mechanically, however, and also really showing up in terms of the vision control. Very nicely done.
Yeah, very cool to see a strong debut for Peekaboo again, and tough loss for Goong and the rest of Najin the Empire. It just was not their day.
I feel bad for Duke especially because he actually did play that last game very well.
Very strong start, but it all kind of went off the rails quickly. And so, we will find out who our second MVP is. I think I know who I want it to be.
It's the Boo.
That's right. Peekaboo, I can see him going